Hello everyone, so welcome back. So today we will do some problems on equation of motion. Okay. So in the previous lectures we have done some problems and today we will do some more problems. Okay. So our first question says that this video will be in English. The Hindi version of this video I will upload in the next lecture. Okay. So the problems on equation of motion questions I have already written before. You can see the first question. It says that a car acquires a velocity of 72 km per hour. The important points we will highlight first. 72 km per hour in 10 seconds starting from rest. That means our initial velocity is what? 0. Whenever in question it is said that starting from rest, that means that the body is initially at rest, so its velocity will be 0. Okay. First, calculate the acceleration. Second, the average velocity. And third, the distance traveled in this time. Okay. So, the first thing which we need to do is, it is given in 72 km per hour and time is given in 10 seconds. So, we will convert kilometer per hour into meter per second. Okay. So, 1 kilometer per hour, that is equals to 1 kilometer equals to 1000 meter, and 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes into 60 seconds. Okay, so this 0 and this 0 will be cancelled out and we will get 10 by 36. So if we divide both with 2, we will get 5 by 18. Okay, so 1 kilometer per hour equals to 5 by 18 meter per second. So 72 kilometer per hour, that is equals to 5 by 18 into 72. So that gives us 18, 3 is 72. So we are getting 15, sorry, 18, 4 is 72. So we are getting 20 meter per second. Okay. So this is our first thing which we need to do. We have to see the unit that must be matching, because here we are getting time in second and we are getting velocity in kilometer per hour. Now the body is starting from rest. That eventually means initial velocity equals to 0. So we know from our first equation of motion, v is equals to u plus at, where v is what? V is final velocity. When you are writing any formula, you have to tell each terms what does it mean, what does v means, what does u means, what does a means. Okay, and u is our initial velocity. U is our initial velocity. A is the acceleration. T is the time. Now, here U is 0. So, V is equals to A T. Okay. We need to find acceleration A. V is given. We have found it in meter per second. A is equals to V by T. From here we can write A is equals to V by T. T they have given 10 seconds. So, we are getting 2. And unit is what? Meter per second square. Okay, so our acceleration is what? 2 meter per second square. Now, second question what they have asked, the average velocity. Okay, now see the average velocity. Average velocity is what? Initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2. Now, initial velocity is 0, final velocity is 20 by 2. So, that is 10 meter per second. Okay, now third is what? The distance traveled in this time. Now distance traveled, we know from our another equation of motion that S is equals to ut plus half a t square, right? So u is 0, half a we have calculated, that is a was 2, right? A was 2 and t is 10 square. So this 2 and this 2 will cancel out, so we are getting 100 meter. Okay, so this is our distance traveled. I hope you understood this question. So we'll proceed to our next question. Okay, so next question says that a ball is initially moving with the velocity 0.5 meter per second. Its velocity decreases at a rate of 0.5 meter per second square. How much time will it take to stop and how much distance will the ball travel before it stops? Okay. So what is given? A ball is initially moving. That means initial velocity is not zero. Okay. So the ball is initially moving. So initial velocity is what? Initial velocity is 0.5 meter per second. Okay, and its velocity decreases at a rate of 0.5 meter per second square. That means this is what our acceleration. You can check with the unit also. So acceleration is 0.5 meter per second square. But see one thing, they have said it is decreasing, so there will be a minus sign before, because we know that acceleration is a vector quantity. Okay, so since it is decreasing, its velocity is decreasing at a rate of this, that means our acceleration is minus. Okay, now they have asked how much time will it take to stop. Now when will it take to stop? That means final velocity is 0. When the ball is finally it's not moving, that is it is stopped, or the motion is 0, then I can say that final velocity is what? 0. So final velocity is 0. So they have asked time. So we know from our equation of motion v is equals to u plus at. Now v is 0, u we know, and a is with a negative sign. For first we will equate u is equals to minus of at. So t is equals to minus of u by a. So u is what? This is our u, that is our initial velocity, and this is our acceleration a. So minus u is 0.5, and acceleration itself there is a minus sign. So minus of 0.5. So this minus and this minus they will cancel out, and 0.5 will cancel out, and we will get time t equals to 1 second. Okay, so we will get time t equals to 1 second. Now, how much distance will the ball travel before it stops? Now, we know our another equation of motion, that is equals to v square is equals to u square plus 2as. From here we can find how much distance will the ball travel. Distance s is our distance. Okay, so v square minus of u square by 2a will give us our distance traveled. Now s equals to v is what? 0 minus u square. U is what? 0.5 square by 2. A there itself is a minus sign into 0.5. So 0.5 will cancel out from here. So we will get here this minus and this minus will cancel out. So we will get 0.5 by 2. And if we remove the decimal sign, so here we will write 10. So we will get here what? 5 2 are 10, so we will get 1 by 4. So we will get 1 by 4. So that is equals to 0.25 meter. Okay. So the distance traveled is what? 0.25 meter. See, we also know you. There must be one question in your mind, that we also know another equation of motion, that is which we have used in our previous question. That is s is equals to ut plus half of at square. We can also use this. Okay, so use this. U is what? 0.5. T is what? 1 second plus half a with a minus sign 0.5 into 1 square. So 0.5, this minus is there, so minus 0.5 by 2. So this is resulting in 0.5 by 2. So this is 5 by 2 into 10. So that is equals to same as 1 by 4. So 0.25 meter. So you can either use this formula, you can also use this formula. It's up to you. You will get the same result, whichever formula you are using. Okay, so next question we will proceed. Next question says that a stone is dropped from rest. Again a stone is dropped from rest, that means initial velocity is 0 and falls freely under gravity. Here comes the term gravity, that means our acceleration will be replaced with gravitational constant, not gravitational constant, with acceleration due to gravity, that is g, which has got a fixed value, and they have given the value as g is equals to 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, so Now, calculate the distance covered by it in the first 2 seconds. They have asked to calculate the distance covered by it in the first 2 seconds. So, what is given? Initially, the drop from rest, so u is equals to 0. U is our initial velocity. And A is here our g, that is equals to 9.8 meter per second square, since the ball, since the stone falls freely under gravity. Okay, and time t equals to 2 seconds. Now we need to find the distance covered. That is, here we have always written distance covered as s, so we will substitute s only. Now we know our equation of motion as s is equals to ut plus half of gt square, right? Here A will be replaced with G, since the stone is falling freely under gravity. Now U is 0, so this is 0, half G, that is 9.8 T square, so 2 into 2. This will cancel out and we will write 9.8 into 2, so that is equals to 19.6 meter. Again, there will be one question in your mind that we can also use this formula, V square is equals to U square plus 2GS, okay, but here you don't know what is V, right? So always use those equations where you know the other variable quantities. Okay. So here we will use this one, this formula. We will not use this one. Fine. Yes, you can use this. Again, you have to first calculate V. You have to find out V. How will you find out V? You know V is equals to U plus GT. Here A is replaced with G. So U is 0. So G into T. So G is what? 9.8. T is what? 2 seconds. So from here you can calculate V. Then substitute the value of V in this equation and then you can calculate S. So this is a little bit lengthy, so we will use this direct formula where we don't need to find another variable quantity. Okay. The next question, question number 4. A body initially at rest travels a distance 100 meter in 5 seconds with a constant acceleration. Initially at rest, that means u is equals to 0. Distance s is given as 100 meter. Time t is given as 5 seconds. We need to first calculate the acceleration. We know v is equals to u plus at, right? But here we can see that our v is not given. So we will use different formula. We will use another formula as we know s is given. So s is equals to ut plus half at square. We can use this formula. S is given as 100 meter. U is 0 plus half a, which we need to find. T is given 5 into 5, that is 25. So 100 equals to a by 2 into 25. So a is equals to what? This 2 will come here. So 2 into 100 by 25. 25 4 ja 100. So a is equals to 8 meter per second square. Okay. Now the final velocity at the end of 5 seconds. So we know another equation of motion is what? V is equals to u plus at. U is 0 and acceleration is 8. But this time they have already set at the end of 5 seconds. So we will use time t as 5 seconds. So we are getting 40 meter per second. Okay. I hope you understood all the sums today. So today we will stop here. Okay. So thank you so much. Keep studying.